Hello, coaching community, and a special happy Thanksgiving to those of you in the US, which you're probably not watching because you're celebrating and eating and drinking and having a fabulous time with your family and friends. So definitely to those in the US, I hope you're having a wonderful time and you're celebrating Thanksgiving and, just enjoying the festivities. For those of you outside the US, welcome to the broadcast, where I'm going to be sharing with you some things to think about in relation to recruiting. This can actually make or break you in your business. It really comes down to the caliber and the quality of the person that you recruit, and there's some things that you want to think about when you're recruiting into your business. So that's what I'm going to run through in today's video. And I'm sharing this with you because this was part of a training that was provided to a number of us leaders in my network marketing company when we were at a company retreat last week in Bali. And this is one of the things that we went through. And I just think it's really important to pass this information on to those of you that are in the industry of home-based business, direct selling, social selling. You're an entrepreneur in this home-based business, that when you're looking to recruit people, what are some of the things that you should be thinking about? Wouldn't you much prefer just a team full of absolute rock stars that you don't need to babysit, that are doing their own thing and they're really high caliber people, than recruiting people that you probably should have never recruited in the first place, and they just end up draining all your energy? So let's have a chat about that. If you're here with me live, let me know where you're watching from. I'm not expecting a lot from the US would be watching live, but if you are, let me know. How's your Thanksgiving going? Would love to know what you're sort of up to and why you would be live with me if you're from the US. But maybe you're having a quiet Thanksgiving. But definitely say hello and let me know, where you're watching from. The UK people are probably asleep. The Canadians, there must be some Canadians around and some Australians around. So let me know where you're watching from, as well. Yesterday, I shared with you, if you watched that live, if you didn't, go back and catch it, regarding some things that are sort of happening in my business at the moment, the volume that's going through my business, some of the things that I'm doing to sort of capitalize on specials made available sort of by the company. And, when business is good, hopefully you're recruiting a few people sort of here and there. I mean, as I said before, our goal is to have a team full of rock stars. How many of you have actually recruited somebody that's just maybe shouldn't have been in your business? Like, they were never really going to do the work. They're just, not somebody that really had the drive to do anything in the first place. Have you recruited people like that? This will be a different conversation. You'll take this in differently depending on where you are in your business. If you've never recruited somebody before, like you're still building, then these are the kinds of things that you want to think about when you do recruit somebody. And don't get caught in that trap of that you'll just take anybody, because it's not worth the effort. I've been there, I've done that. I've recruited, a lot of people in the past that want the success, but they don't want to do the work. And we all know that this industry is tough. If it was that easy to do, then everybody would be doing it. And not everybody does it because it takes some hard work, and it you have to get uncomfortable and have conversations and approach people and do things on social media that maybe you don't feel 100% comfortable doing. There's things I do all the time that I don't necessarily feel comfortable with doing. I don't necessarily want to be on social media as much as I am, but it's all part of the journey to be seen and sharing information, letting people know what you have, because I choose to build mainly online. So if you choose to mainly build online, then there's things that you have to do that maybe you don't want to do. And there's conversations that you need to have, like all part of that. Humans are more likely to do things that are comfortable than are uncomfortable. So it's a difficult industry to be in. But even if you haven't recruited anyone before, it doesn't mean that the first person that comes along is going to be a good candidate for your business. So let's have a talk about that. So who's here? Say hello. We've got Olive. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Faye. Good to see you here. It's morning in your world in Western Australia. Hello, Chrissy. Turkey coma is setting in. So you've had a good feed, have you, Chrissy? Enjoyed your celebrations for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is, like, for those of you from the US, is it just as big as Christmas? Is it bigger than Christmas for you guys? Like, it seems to be, because we don't celebrate Thanksgiving in Australia. It seems that Thanksgiving is almost bigger than Christmas to you guys. I could be wrong, but I'd love you to know your thoughts on that. Hello, Bev. Good to see you on from England. So you're still awake, up late. Hello, Teresa. Good to see you on. And I'm suddenly seeing all your names again, which is amazing. So that's a good thing. So let me go through these points. So as I said, this comes from a training that we received in Bali from our corporate leaders regarding some of the things that we should think about when we're recruiting. And what I would encourage you to sort of consider before I go through these things is when you haven't built yet, or you're just wanting your first person to join you in your business, it's really easy just to sign anybody up. But if you qualify those people first and go through some kind of screening questions, which is what I'm about to share with you, then the last thing you want to do is, it's actually can work in the reverse. When you sign somebody up that you should have never signed up because they were never going to commit, they were never going to do the work, they just should have perhaps been a customer rather than a team member. So these things that I'm going to go through are kind of your screening questions with somebody for you to decide, is this person better as a customer or as a team member? And there are some people that are just not meant for this industry. So don't just take anybody and sign anybody up just because. Like, go through these types of questions to kind of screen them as to whether they should fit in your business. If you get a whole lot of customers, awesome. If you're in a company like mine where you can rank advance on the customer side, you don't even need to build a team, then even better, because customers are just as valuable to you as team members. Okay, so you might want to write these questions down. There's 5 of them, and these are the things that you want to think about and screen before you sign somebody up into your business when you're recruiting. Okay, number 1, ask the person, are you willing to invest? Somebody initially has to be willing to invest, and the conversation that you want to have regarding this business is that you are actually investing in a business. Most people, unfortunately, just look at it as a cost. Like, it's an expense. It's not an expense. It's an investment in a business. So is somebody willing to invest in the business? Initially, when somebody invests into your business, they should get a few products to try. Like, they should invest a little bit more than what they're going to do on a monthly basis, because they're investing and they're trying a few things. And if they're a product of the product, then they've got more things that they can talk about with, future customers, those kind of things. So the first thing you want to establish from somebody is, are you willing to invest in a business? Okay, so are they willing to make that commitment and an ongoing commitment to that? The last thing you want is people signing up. They initially, sign up and pay their money, and then they do nothing. Like that, it's just not a good business. Nobody wins with that in this industry. So are they willing to invest? Okay, and look at it as an investment instead of a cost. So thinking about that and having that conversation, are you happy to invest in this business? Secondly, are they willing to get started within like the first 24 hours? Do you know how important it is in this industry, from somebody signing up to helping them become confident in what they're doing and the processes that you've got and what you can teach them and all those kind of things in the first 24, maybe 48 hours? If you're anything like me and you sign up people globally, sometimes there's time zone issues that push that out a little bit, but you want somebody to get started straight away. The reason for that, and have a think about your entry into this business. You sign up and you leave somebody alone for too long, guess what happens? What do you think happens? Those of you that are watching live, put it in the comments. What happens when somebody signs up, they're all excited, and then you leave them alone for too long? What's naturally going to happen in that person's head? I want to see if any of you guys can come up with it. I'll leave that thought with you. I'll come back to it. So the second one is, are they willing to get started, launch them, have an orientation call, all of those kind of things within the first 24 to 48 hours? Chrissy's got it. They tap out. They get nervous. They start doubting whether they can do it because you haven't shown them how yet. All the fears come creeping in. How am I going to do this? What does all of this mean? I'm confused. I don't know if I can do this. Am I expected to do this, that, or whatever, or talk to all my family and friends and do whatever? Now, their brain is going into overdrive, and they've gone from something exciting that they've invested in to a whole lot of fear, because that's what people do when they make decisions. And if it was a little bit nerve-wracking for them and they've put money towards it, now they've made the commitment. Have you ever heard of buyer's remorse? That's kind of what creeps in. It's like, oh, what have I done? Oh, I don't know if I can do this. And if you haven't given them some confidence around, don't stress, we've got systems, we've got scripts, whatever it is that you have, we have, template social media posts, like we've got you covered. Don't stress about it. Like in there, unless you're talking to them a lot in that first 24 to 48 hours, they can tap out. Yes, Teresa, they'll drop off. They've gone back to their life, pretty quickly. So if you're the one that raised it with them, like they didn't seek you out, you're the one that raised it with them and they agreed to it, and you don't keep them there while they're excited and willing to learn, and you've left it a week, they've gone back to their life, and that enthusiasm that was there, that vision that they caught initially, it's all gone. So you've got to ask the person, are you willing to get started within the next sort of 24 to 48 hours? As soon as you possibly can, so the doubts don't creep in and they just, they signed up and then they did nothing. That's what's going to happen. So that's the second thing you want to consider. The third thing, you want to ask somebody, are you willing to put at least 5 to 7 hours a week into this business? Minimum. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. Let's, maybe forget the weekend, or maybe a weekend is good for somebody and they can do an hour a day every day. Are you willing to put 5 to 7 hours a week into this business? If somebody is not willing to put any time to this and they're just going to go back to their life and their busy kids and their animals and their job and all the rest of it, and they don't commit some time to growing the business every week, or doing some things, or like watching some training, doing some orientation, reaching out to people, having a call with you as their sponsor, to get some systems in place, following up with your people. Would you like to have a call? Let's have a chat. Where are you at? How can I help you? Like, if you're not doing things like that, new people don't know what to do, and they certainly don't have the confidence. So you want to make sure that they're committed to at least 5 to 7 hours a week. So ask somebody that. Could you commit, how much time can you commit? If you can go over that and somebody's got heaps of time, but you want a minimum commitment for somebody to build their business, because you don't want people joining up and signing up with you and then they ghost you, they disappear, they're not doing any work. You haven't guided them, you haven't given them the training, you haven't given them Zoom calls, like you're not supporting them, and they've just gone, like, what's the point in all of that? So the third thing is asking somebody, are you willing to commit at least 5 to 7 hours a week, if not more, to this business? See what they say. Can't possibly fit another thing in. Or maybe we should just get you on as a customer for now. You can try the product. Then they absolutely love the product. And then you say, well, if you love the product and you're going to recommend it, then maybe you should look at the business so you can monetize that. Okay, so that's the third one, the time. The fourth one Are you willing and able to build a business on the side? Like, you want to get the commitment from somebody that they're building a business. Because most people in this industry don't see it that way. They see it as this little side giggy thing. But for anybody to get any results, you want them to invest in it like a business, spend the time in it like a business, and build it like a business. Like, getting them thinking that way from day one. Are you willing to, spend the time we've just talked about, but are you willing to, willing and able to actually build a business on the side? Like, you want to really get that through to them. This is a business that you need to build. It's not going to happen by itself. You want somebody thinking from day one. You know how this goes? You've heard it a million times. If you treat it like a business, you'll get paid like it from a business. If you treat it like, it's nothing, you'll get paid nothing. If you don't do the work and build it like you would, a traditional bricks and mortar business, how are they going to grow it? So you want that commitment. Are you willing to give this a go as an actual business? Are you willing and able to build this as a business? You think of, and you could use the example, treat this business like, like, look at it as a bricks and mortar store. If you invested in stock and signage and staff and all of that in a bricks and mortar business, you're going to be investing a hell of a lot more money than you will in this. Like, this is really low risk. But the catch is, with really low risk, people don't care as much. It's unfortunate. You want to treat this business and have this conversation. You want to treat this business like you've invested, 1 or 200K in setting up a bricks and mortar shop. So even though you've only paid a few $100s, treat it like you've paid a few $100,000 and that you need to get your investment back. So let's treat this like, we've invested in it and we need to keep the doors to your business open. Otherwise, if in a bricks and mortar store, if you keep the doors closed, there's no customers coming in, there's no sales. So this business works the same way. We've got to keep the doors open to our business. We don't want to invest that kind of money and have the doors closed because, gone fishing type notice on the front door. So you really want to get that mindset of the person that you're recruiting. Like, I know you've only paid a few $100s potentially, but we want to treat this like a business, like you've invested $300,000 in, bricks and mortar business, and we've got to keep the doors open. So we really need to treat it like a business for you to get paid the return of a proper business. That's the kind of conversation that you want to have with somebody. Like, not that you're just joining like this network marketing kind of thing on the side. And, the downfall is if people don't lose a lot, or like there's not a lot at risk, they often don't put the effort in. But if you get them in the mindset from day one, like, treat this like you have paid 300, like how differently would people work? How differently would you work if you invested 300,000 in a bricks and mortar shop? You'd be there to open those doors every day. You'd be there from, 9 to 5 or when to when. Like, you have to keep the doors open to keep, the potential for the income coming in. So that's how you really want to kind of treat this business, or somebody having the mindset around that. So that's number 4. Number 5 is getting people, and this is a real downfall in the industry, is people not having their subscription on. This is the repeat volume that makes our industry tick. And it's not even like a monthly expense. You're actually getting probably product or something for that, whatever you do in your business. You're actually paying for something that you get to use. That's our only overhead in this industry. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. But the potential to earn back is massive. The hard part is the beginning. It's getting started with the right people and a few customers. And, it's like I've said many a time in many of my trainings, it's work, 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 get a little bit of money. Work, 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 get a little bit more money. Work, 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 work. Oops, we've dropped back. We've got no money. Work, 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 work. Like in the beginning, we're work, 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 work for not much return. And people are thinking, oh, I'm putting all this money out, but I'm not getting any money back. Well, are they actually treating it like a business? Probably not. Are they actually doing the work? Are they actually opening the doors to their business and putting posts out on social media and having conversations as you would if a customer walked in the door? How are you attracting people to get customer to walk in the door? Like, this is how you want people to think about it. So they can't complain when they're outputting, for their monthly sort of expense, but the doors are closed. They're not talking to anybody. They're not posting anything on social media. Well, don't whinge. You're not making any money out of your business because you're not actually treating it like a business because your doors are shut. There's nothing going on. You're not talking to anybody and you're not even posting about it on social media. So the minimum commitment in this industry should be the subscription, the minimum subscription. So you want to have that conversation with somebody before they join. If they're not willing, they're not the right person for you to recruit because their head's not in the right space. It's just, people cut corners. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to have to order every month. I know how much you want more people in your business, but if somebody's going to openly tell you that, what people do, they duplicate. So if you get somebody in that doesn't want to order every month, guess what's going to duplicate down your team? If you don't follow your system within your team, when you sign somebody up, like you just sign up randoms, your randoms will sign up randoms. You're going to end up with a whole team of randoms and you're going to hate this industry. You're going to be out within less than 6 months because nothing ever worked. But why didn't it work? Because you didn't recruit the right people. Recruiting motivated people that are committed to their, subscription every month, that want to treat this like a business and do the work and work with you and commit to those minimum 5 to 7 hours a week. And actually just, even if it's slow progress is still progress, and they're doing things and they're watching some training and they're taking some action and things like that, then, they'll probably be okay and they're worth your time. But somebody that's saying to you, I can't put an order in this month, or I don't want to, or, I didn't have time this week for my business. Like, they're all the tire kickers, and you don't want a team full of those. Do you? Do you want a team full of those? That'll just end up with a whole lot of frustrating nightmares of you wanting it for people more than they want it for themselves. I've got heaps of those. I've got those people too. I want it so much for so many people in my team, and I give them the training and the systems and example social media posts and all the support, but I can't make them do the work. They have to want to make them, they have to want to do the work. And that comes down to the caliber of person that you recruit. So if you've established all of that up front, and are you willing to put the time in? Are you willing to commit to the subscription? Are you willing to do this? Are you willing to do that? Like, we want to treat this like a business because we want you to get paid like a business. Then if they're, that's all good, then recruit them. If they're not, like, as much as you might want the team member, I would really encourage you to think about, should this person just be a customer rather than a team member? Only you can sort of decide that at the end of the day when the opportunity is in front of you. But when you recruit the right people with the right motivation and that can commit to it, you're going to have a much better time and a more successful business than a team full of people that don't want to do the work, they don't want to spend the money, and they're whinging about how the industry doesn't work, but they're actually not doing the work themselves. They really need to look more in the mirror than blame anything to do with the company or the products or anything like that. Can any of you resonate with what I'm sharing with you? And I know the struggle between somebody sort of wanting to join your business and you going through this evaluation as much as you want another team member. Is it worth it? Are they going to be the right person for you to work with? And if they're not, if you've got warning signs in the beginning, you're actually going to spend a lot more energy babysitting somebody that'll probably never do the work. Save yourself the problem and wait for the right ones to come along. Okay, I know that's frustrating because they're not banging down your door, are they, to join your team? it's unless you're really high influence, high profile, people are generally not banging on your door to join your team. So when someone comes along, you're just happy to recruit somebody. But honestly, it's not worth your time and energy if they're not going to do the work anyway. So have enough posture for your business that you screen people with these kind of questions and, discussion before you join them up. Okay, makes sense? Okay, they'll fan the excitement or they will fade out. Yes, Ford. How are you, Ford? Nicole. Good to see you in, chiming in from the States. Wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. No, Thanksgiving is not as quite as big as Christmas. Okay, cool. Thanksgiving is about family, good food, and football. I would actually prefer that than just, I find Christmas really interesting because I find it too commercial, and it's a lot about gift giving, people spending money that they don't have. I would rather, I don't know, what do you guys think about that? I would rather something like Thanksgiving, where it's just about getting family together and food and having a good time, than Christmas, which is more about the gift giving, and people spending money that they don't have. I'd rather the celebration of something like Thanksgiving and family and food and getting together and quality family time than Christmas, when people are spending a lot more money on extra things. And, it can be fun. I'm not saying I don't like Christmas. I love Christmas. But there seems a big commercial aspect to Christmas because of the gift giving side of it. I don't know, just my thoughts. Chrissy, I agree. Definitely not as big, but a great excuse to be with family and get fat and happy. Just a time to reflect on what we are grateful for and be with love. That's what I think celebrations like Christmas should be as well. Hey, Beth, how are you? Good to see you on GD and Sons Digital, watching from Texas. Nicole. Chrissy, yes, indeed, fat and happy, and most definitely time to reflect. It's all rain here. Oh, really? Raining there. Wow. Fort Worth, very gross outside, but the pie is yummy. As long as you're inside, you're warm, and you got good company and got good food. I think that's what it's all about. There were two Christmases, one about Jesus, very simple. The other is hugely commercial and often damaging. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, Ford. I think it's should be just about the celebration of being with, your loved ones more than the commercial side of it. The shops are already crazy, bonbons and Christmas trees. And, mind you, it is the 25th of November in my part of the world today, because I'm a day ahead of a lot of you. So Christmas is only a month today, or a month tomorrow for those of you in other parts of the world. That's a bit scary, isn't it? Certainly not ready for Christmas. But anyway, that's another discussion. So just, have a think about those 5 things that I've shared with you regarding recruiting. Even if it's just so exciting that somebody is coming along to join you in your business, just have enough posture in your business to recruit those kind of people that really want to treat it like a business, and you'll end up with a more solid business rather than a bit of influx then falling apart. I've had that. I've had people come in and, it's all good, and then it's gone. I've lost people faster than I could recruit them. So we can minimize the roller coaster of this industry if you have more posture in who it is that you bring into your business. So just respect yourself enough to wait for the right people rather than, the volume, and, have it all fall apart. So I hope that makes sense, because it is really important in this industry overall as to who you bring who you bring into your network to work with and spend your time and energy on. Okay. No worries. I'm glad you're enjoying the topic. It's great to see you here live. So thanks for joining me, guys, this week. Join me next week. I've got some Facebook updates for you for personal profiles, the professional mode, some updates regarding reels and things like that. So I've got some updates for you that you might be, you might like to sort of become aware of. Don't forget, we have the free 10-day online crew video challenge starting on the 5th of December. So if you go to helenmartinonline.com/video, then you'll be able to register for free, get into the Facebook group, and you can join us for the free video challenge starting on the 5th of December. And just a reminder on that really quickly, this is the time that you want more eyeballs on you. The video challenge is the best way to do that because one, you're showing up, you're talking, you're sharing your, personality with people. People are getting to know you. It's the fastest way for people to get to know, like, and trust you on social media. But it gives you the opportunity with the other fellow challengers when you're supporting each other and getting more engagement on your social media to really boost your algorithm right before Christmas and the New Year's, where you've got some cool maybe products to offer or a business opportunity. When people are sort of reevaluating the year that was and the year that's coming, people are thinking, people are open. This is a great time for you to get more exposure on social media. So that's why I've planned this video challenge, the timing that I have. But I've only made it 10 days to not impost on your Christmas too much, so we don't get too close into Christmas. So it's only 10 days. I give you the content, I give you the tech skills, we give you the support, we give you the community, all of that. You've got nothing to lose because it's completely free. So go to helenmartinonline.com/video and come and join us for that last video challenge of the year. I know how powerful they can be because I've been running them since 2018 and I can't even remember how many I've done now, but lots, and people's lives have transformed. From themselves, their own confidence, and their following on social media, and friends growing around the world. Like, it's just a really cool thing to be a part of. So that's available free to you. So in my part of the world, it is Friday and the weekend is coming. In your part of the world, it may be Thanksgiving. So for those of you in the US, enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving holiday. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Okay, catch you then. Bye-bye.